So our design is almost completely responsive. We got a lot of cool stuff going on over here, but our iframe video YouTube embed over here, this poses some interesting challenges for us. Now, let's start off with what may seem intuitive to get this going, and that's um, giving an iframe 100% width. It seems to make sense, right? Because if we want this thing to stretch out at whatever dimension we want, 100% width will oftentimes do that. Well, let's give it a shot, No harm in trying. Obviously, we want this to happen at any dimension. So here we go. iframe with 100%. Great. Let's give this guy a refresh. And hey, look at that. Let's pat ourselves on the back. It's looking good. So simple. Stupid easy, right? But let's look close at what's happening over here. What ends up happening is that by giving it 100% width, we mess up the aspect ratio, right? I mean, look what's happening. This is lame, right? You see all this? Well, we're not messing up. Excuse me, we're not messing up the aspect ratio of the video because the styles that are coming in from the iframe from YouTube, which is actually, why it's putting the header here and these buttons and all that business. It's smart enough to preserve the aspect ratio of the video, but the actual iframe that we have doesn't get that same treatment. Now, there's a bit of a trick to doing this. I don't want to say a trick, but some advanced features of doing this. And I'm just going to go right through it. Well, first off, let me tell you that I have a YouTube channel, Code Cascade, and I have a video in there called Making Embedded YouTube Videos Responsive. So I go the blow by blow on what you need to do to make this work. And I'm going to give you sort of a brief now, and then this is another place where you could dig in deeper. What we're going to do is here's the overview. We're going to create a container that we're going to put around our iframe. This container, we're going to set it up that the container is going to preserve that aspect ratio. And then you know how we have this black over here? Well, we're going to hide this with some CSS and make sure it's always compact and always looking good. So this technique is a bit advanced. I mean, it's just pure CSS. Just sort of wrapping your head around the concepts is the one thing that wrapping your head or figuring out how they actually work could be a little more challenging. But you know what? In the end, just like how I learned this technique, I didn't make this one up. I actually found it years ago at a list apart, and there's another one. I Googled making YouTube videos responsive or making iframe videos responsive, because what's cool about this technique, it works on Google Maps or any iframe. And I found it. And I was in a crunch deadline, so I just kind of copy and pasted and followed the directions, and it worked. And only later did I figure out why it worked. So that's honestly, that's happens more often than you think with everybody. So here we go. Let me copy this CSS. I'm going to paste it into, well, I got to get rid of this iframe business. I'm going to paste it into, not the breakpoint where the media is at. I'm just going to paste it right in with the rest of, with the rest of my code. And what do I need to do next? I need to actually add an outside container, div container with a class called video container. So let's go down to my video. Here's my video. And I'll go div class equals bam. And then I'll copy this and do the same thing. Okay. And now let's just verify that it worked, and then I'll just give you a little overview on why it worked. Uh-oh, it almost looks like this technique didn't work, but let's actually investigate. And when we go narrow, look what the cat dragged in. Well, you notice that all of a sudden it doesn't, it's like missing over here. But when we get narrow, it's there again. Um, if you remember here, let's get narrow again. What is this? Probably 600 pixels, right? If you remember, we had this same issue over here, and we had to use a clear to do it. Because really what's happening is that this video is underneath these floated elements. So, you know, the video is actually more than likely, you may not even, you don't see it, but it's actually behind the ingredient and the directions. Weird, yes, but it is what it is. So what are we going to do to fix that? Well, we're going to have to add one extra piece of code in, where do we add it? I believe we add it either, here, let me go clear both. I think it's in the video container. Let's see if it does it. Yeah, baby. Here we go. Cool. 100% responsive. More than responsive, it's aspect ratio preserving YouTube video.